yeah. That's going to be, we're going to have a disclaimer for our podcast.
Right.
No, like when we posted it, one of the chicks from Rouse's
Was upset.
No, she was like, oh, we need to sponsor this. I was like, Marcy, you might want to know. It will not be censored. And you've heard us talk.
Be forewarned.
But she's kind of like us, so she's like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah. And I think, the podcast world is very wide open, one. And then also, I think the less editing, the better. I think it kind of gives us a little bit more kind of a natural flow.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we are recording.
Oh, hey.
Hey guys, it's I'm out here with Chef Jamie Brown. I'm super excited about this interview. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. She's I'd like to call her a good friend of mine, a chef, and just an amazing person all around. So, without further ado, this is Chef Jamie Brown. If you want to introduce yourself and kind of tell a little bit about yourself.
Jamie Brown, of course. I am the chef here at Southern Oaks, and co-owner of Bouillabaisse Catering, and that keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah, absolutely, and I keep up with you more online than we do in person, just because of busy schedules, but seems to be keeping you pretty busy.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Can't complain.
So where are you from originally?
I am originally from Donaldsonville.
From Donaldsonville, okay.
Yeah, and then my parents didn't think that was country enough, so moved us out to near Pierre Park.
Okay.
Which I did not end up with the accent somehow. And so kind of a little bayou girl. And
shameless plug. I don't know if you've talked to my wife, but the reason she moved or ended up in Baton Rouge originally, she shot a film. A lot of it was in Pierre Park. And she loves Pierre Park. Anyway, you need to talk to her.
It's a different world out there.
It is.
It is totally a different world.
Is it a driftwood guy that has like all these like really cool piece of driftwood? Well, he's in the movie and did like a little walk through his little. It's amazing.
My first time in the Pierre Park store.
Yeah.
When I was about 14 or 15. And this little old lady in front of me started speaking Cajun French. I was like, whoa.
What is happening?
Whoa.
I'm not in Donaldsonville anymore.
No, the weird part was the girl checking her out, who was a totally teenager, probably my age at the time.
Yeah.
Started speaking it back to her, and I was like, what? What is going on here?
That is awesome. That is awesome. I don't know if I'm born and raised in Baton Rouge, but I don't know if I've ever heard a full-on Cajun French conversation. I've heard people speak it, but not like just a full-blown conversation.
It's just like a relaxed French.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. I tell people it's like low country French.
Right. I can see that. Absolutely. So how long have you been in the restaurant business, and was that always your dream, or is it something that kind of fell into your lap with?
Oh God, definitely was not in the plans when I was younger.
What was the plan?
I wanted to be a medical examiner.
Okay. It's never too late.
No, never too late to go to med school, whatever.
Yeah. Well, you go to butcher school, and then you could go into medical examiner.
I'm still interested in all of it, listen to crazy podcasts, watch all those weird shows, but life led me in some other direction. I didn't even when I went to LSU. Yeah. I started out as an apparel design major.
Okay.
All over the friggin' place.
Yeah. And that seems to be, more and more people, it's where they start off is not where they end up. And
I started cooking when I was about, by myself, when I was about 10. But I never thought of it as, a career thing.
Not something you were going to follow, as a career path.
I was just I can, cook for my family. That's about it. And then started working in the industry. Oh, God. I've been in the industry. It's going to age me almost 20 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm right about 23 years right now, which is crazy.
And I think about that, I'm like, oh God, But apparently we made it out alive through the hard part. Right,
exactly. Well, it's a funny thing about the restaurant business.
It either makes or breaks you.
Yeah, and the thing with the restaurant business, it almost gets, for lack of a better term, addicting, because it's the nightlife. You're working at night, and then you go have a few drinks, and then you're not very productive during the morning. So then you're not really useful for any other industry for a little while. So
I've tried the whole desk thing in between, like here
tough.
and there, and you get like antsy.
Right, got to get up, got to move around.
I need to always be doing something. I can't be like filing papers. That's
exactly. I remember I worked for my when I decided I was going to give up the restaurant industry altogether. It must have been 2007, 2008. Lasted a few months. I was working at my brother's office, and I was doing some accounting filing for my sister-in-law, who's the accountant for his company. And I was there about 2 or 3 days, and I stopped by her office and I said, "Is the suicide rate in accounting really high? Because this is miserable."
Apparently it is.
Is it? Okay, I didn't even know, but I was just like, I've got to get out of here. So
apparently it is.
It is tough for sure to make that transition out of it. Well, I guess some of the other questions I have for you is, what has been one of the most rewarding thing you've had in being in the restaurant business? I know that's kind of an open-ended question. There's so many different facets.
Well, the good thing about it is that it's almost like if you're a people pleaser,
Yeah.
which most of us are,
Mhm.
it's instant gratification.
I was going to say that's always been my thing. It's really tough for me to see the long.
Like just now, I'm like, I want to cook this so all these people can enjoy this.
Yeah.
Come on. And you get that instant feedback.
Right.
It's not like some other jobs where it's, you have to wait weeks for your result and everything like that.
Exactly.
And food makes people happy.
Exactly.
I don't know one person that's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
gonna.
I even find myself at home, as I've kind of stepped a little bit more away from the restaurant industry. I'll just find myself in the kitchen whipping something up or making an elaborate breakfast, for the kids, just because I feel like I need to do that. It's something. It's part of me now that I love that's there.
And it satisfies like a creative part of you.
Yeah,
as well.
It does, absolutely, and it kind of like it's almost therapeutic in some ways, So put your phone down and you're just kind of in the moment.
When I've had a bad day, I'm just like, I'm gonna cook something, even if I'm not gonna eat it.
Right.
Last week it was just like dreary weather like this.
Absolutely.
It's like, you know what? I'm gonna go home and make a soup.
Right.
And I might have had like a serving of it and just gave it away. I was like, here, take it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll do the same thing. I'll call my brother, like, oh, I just made such and such. All right, I'll come get some. Just to make it. That's funny. So how did you and I meet? I guess it was kind of a funny little situation how you ended up here at Southern Oaks.
You had put out a little ad thingy about.
Was it on Craigslist? I can't remember where. Or Facebook or.
It might have been Facebook. I think it was Facebook.
Yeah, I can't remember now either.
About needing somebody at Go Yaya's.
Right.
I replied, and you were like, "But wait, I have a different place you might fit in."
Yeah, it was one of those things. Like after meeting you, I just like immediately knew. I was like, okay, this is perfect situation.
Yeah.
So I met her at Starbucks at Target. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever told her this, but when I read the email, I read it as James Brown. So I walked in, I was like, man, I am going to meet James Brown today. This is cool. And so I go in there and I'm standing there and finally, are you Kevin? I was like, oh. And she's like, I'm Jamie. I was like, Jamie Brown.
Jamie.
Yeah.
But that is one of my nicknames.
Is
one
it?
One of the many.
Yeah. It's because of your dance moves or?
Could be. One of my other nicknames is Too Hot.
Okay.
Which is an ode to the Eddie Murphy skit on SNL with James
Too Hot in the Hot Tub?
Too Hot in the Hot Tub.
That's one of the best of all time. Absolutely. And so your role here is kind of morphed and evolved in a big way, actually.
Oh,
so, kind of walk us through that.
Started out as doing just cooking the Simply line,
which is kind of we did prepared meals that were, we walked them through a nutritionist, and she kind of signed off on them, and we made these really healthy prepared meals that they served here at Southern Oaks.
And it's all nutrition based, and following a recipe. Just if you can follow a recipe, which you'd be surprised some people cannot.
My wife is one of them. She won't watch this. It doesn't matter.
But so started doing that, and then they do Pool.
Good.
Oh, yeah. We're good. We do pool service as well during the summer.
Right.
So and that's not healthy at all. So kind of doing all that, and then it kind of went into starting to develop new Simply meals, and then redo the menus for the pool, and now this beautiful patio.
Right.
And
you guys will see. You've seen some of the patio in the previous episode. I just interviewed Courtney Bienvenue. So if you see that episode, you'll see more of the patio out here. But I'm going to post some pictures as well. It's just beautiful facilities.
So yeah, and then now we're starting to do like ticketed events, which we're gonna have our first one coming up soon. Which
I am extremely fired up about. I just told. I just talked to Courtney, and I locked in 4 spots for my wife and I and another couple. So I'll let her kind of walk you through the menu a little bit if she can remember it off the top of her head. But
I've gone
it looks
over this menu
amazing.
about 20 times, like in the past 2 days.
And this is Valentine's dinner? Is that right?
Yeah, it's the day after Valentine's.
Okay.
Valentine's Day falls on a Thursday, so most people have kids. It's easier to get the kid. Well, they have a daycare here, so that'll
be open that night?
I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, that's good to know.
Pretty sure.
By the time you're watching this, it's going to be sold out, so sorry.
So we're doing a 4-course meal.
Yeah.
It's a wine pairing, which we actually had a wine tasting a few weeks ago to let all the members who were interested pick out the new wines for this season.
Oh, I saw that, man. I was sad. I missed that. That
they
looked cool.
They picked out some good ones. So we're doing a 4-course meal.
Okay.
First course is crab cake bites, which everybody
actually
loves.
have it pulled up if you want to see it.
With a green tomato marmalade, some pickled mustard seeds, and some microgreens. Kind of like sort of like an amuse-bouche.
Right.
We didn't really label any of the courses just because I was like, I want to do this, but it's not really a salad. It's not really an appetizer.
Right.
Or whatever. We'll call it just a course. And then the second course is an herb-crusted tuna.
Oh, wow.
With some haricot vert and what else? Yeah. Some roasted tomato aioli.
I'm excited about that. I've never had it. Is that something that you've come up with, or is it something you kind of played around with?
I actually threw it together for something here. We had a catered event here. I forgot what I did it for. But I really wanted to do tuna for that course just because it's a Pinot Noir. And most people are just like, oh, you can't pair fish and red wine.
Yeah.
So kind of going out there.
I like it.
You can. You can.
I'm excited,
do. And then third course is something I'm really excited about. It's a salmi of duck.
Explain a salmi.
It's a French preparation.
Okay.
Roasted duck. You debone it and then use the bones to make the stock.
Oh, wow.
So I'm kind of going to do a play on that with kind of like a grits and griots type thing.
Yeah.
Camembert grits.
Oh, man, that sounds
and
good.
some duck crackling on top.
Okay. Duck crack.
Duck crack. And then fourth course. Of course, you have to go very decadent with the port.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some dark chocolate creme brulee.
Oh, that's one of my favorite desserts of all time.
Bittersweet truffles and balsamic black cherries.
Oh, wow. I'm excited. I'm glad I signed up.
Bring your waistband.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Bouilla Babes, tell me a little bit about that. I've seen y'all kind of came on strong this past year, and I've seen y'all everywhere. So it's been awesome to watch from afar. So tell me about that.
The past 2.5 months have been crazy. Of course, for every catering business, like the holiday season, anytime between Thanksgiving and New Year's, it's just nuts. I don't think we slept.
I believe it from seeing y'all's posts. Yeah.
So yeah, we're caterers. We do pop-ups. We will do anything food related.
And it's you and
Sydney Harkins.
Okay. Looking out for you.
Yeah. She does a lot of the she has a lot of knowledge about ethnic foods, which brings a lot to it. And we mesh really well together, just because.
Just the way y'all work together.
We work really well together. And we kind of, we bounce ideas off of each other. And we'll text each other or call each other and be like, dude, what do you think about this?
Right.
Even if it's not for like a certain event.
Yeah, it's just something.
Just like, I was just thinking about this. We need to do this for something. So that's like constant.
Yeah.
We do have a couple things coming up.
Okay.
We are doing Mid-City Makers Market in March. We haven't set a menu in concrete yet, but it's gonna be yummy.
How does Mid-City Makers Market work? Is it you set up at a certain business or?
No, it's off of South Eugene near Government.
Okay.
And it's basically like a long alley.
Okay.
And all these vendors, local vendors, artisans.
Yeah.
They have local music and food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Justin just reached out to me to see if I could do it. I think he said February, March.
Yeah.
Something else was already booked up, but he had one in May, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
It's fun.
Is it?
It is fun. I mean, we did our first one. Oh God, was it September or October? It was hot.
Yeah.
But we still had fun. But this time we're gonna not only have our hot food booth where we're gonna be serving ready to eat right there if you have the munchies.
Yeah.
Because there is a bar.
Nice. Is it a full bar or is it like a couple beers, couple wines, and maybe a cocktail?
Maybe a full bar. I'm not sure.
Nice.
We were so busy that I wasn't able to venture down there until like later. But it's a really cool setup. We will be having another booth as well to sell like take home. Like dips and stuff like that, some cheese torts possibly.
Is that something you are trying to get more and more involved with?
It's something that people like. We did it here at Southern Oaks for the members market,
that's right.
It was huge success.
Yeah.
People loved it. Stuff that you can bring home, possibly freeze.
Yeah.
Have on hand for any parties, or just have at home for snacking for the week.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, we'll take orders as well if people can call us and be like, hey, I want some of that hummus again. All right,
that's awesome.
We'll do that for you. So we're really excited about that. We love doing stuff like that out in the community, like White Light Night and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like gets us out of the kitchen and talking to people.
Changes the venue a little bit. Yeah,
it's more relaxed, and we can just kind of chit chat with all the locals and everything. What else? Oh, the big thing. Yeah,
I'm really excited about this.
Almost forgot.
Yeah, her and Sydney have a new. I'll let her actually introduce it.
So we announced it on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and there's been a crazy outpouring of support.
Yeah.
We will be doing a podcast. Mainly because when we're in the kitchen together, we listen to podcasts all the time.
Right.
And that kind of inspired us. We do not listen to food podcasts, however.
They're kind of rough.
They're kind of boring.
Yeah, I have struggled. I've tried to find a couple, and they're just so bad.
They kind of remind me of that SNL skit with like Sherry O'Terry and what's her name, where they're just like.
Like the muffin.
And they're just talking in this really monotone, really soft, monotone voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of want to go towards like the podcasts that we listen to that are uncensored.
Yeah.
And people just kind of like being themselves, but being ourselves means we like to talk about food.
Yeah.
So it is called.
Why are you blushing?
2 girls, 1 measuring cup.
What was that again?
2 girls, 1 measuring cup. I have to be sure to get all the words in there.
Yes, get all. Don't Google the other.
Yes. Make sure you Google 2 girls, 1 measuring cup.
If you don't know why we're laughing, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it at all. It will not hurt you. So it is basically just us. We're going to have a topic every week. We're in the process of letting people vote on what our first topic will be.
Right.
As of now, I think mac and cheese and not your Disney gumbo are in the running for top billing.
I actually had Disney gumbo in California over the Christmas. Not this past.
Why would you do that?
It was between that. Well, we were there and we were hungry. And we were right by the, I can't even remember what it is now, but it's like the New Orleans themed little section of Disneyland. And they had another soup that sounded absolutely atrocious. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get the beef gumbo.
No.
That had beef in it. It was the worst thing I ever had. It was served in a bread bowl. And
oh my God.
It was atrocious. It really was atrocious. And I mean, my wife got a clam chowder that was actually pretty good, but you know, anything's better than a beef gumbo.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has followed me on Facebook for any amount of time, you'll know I will have rants about people not in Louisiana attempting to cook gumbo.
So I've kind of come up with this theory, and so as I kind of get more involved and kind of get myself involved with stuff online, I think some of these people have to be posting the stuff to get get shares and likes.
They have to know that stuff is wrong.
Yeah, it's just awful.
Like the girl who bought all of her ingredients at Whole Foods. I'm like, no, girl, go to Walmart.
Right.
Go to your local Winn-Dixie or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
Publix. I don't know where you live, but you do not buy like chicken sausage from Whole Foods to do a gumbo.
No, absolutely not.
No. But so we're gonna do like a brief history. We're going to talk about our recipes for certain things, give you tips on how to do it, talk about stuff that ticks us off about these things, about what people do wrong to it.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, gumbo, okra or no okra?
I like okra.
I like okra too.
I mean, it literally translates to okra.
Exactly.
So,
it's amazing.
We'll make it, if clients ask us not to put okra in it, we won't.
Absolutely.
But I prefer mine like super dark roux. Mm-hmm. You gotta spend like a lot of time over that roux, and you gotta get scars, man. I have scars from last year's roux rally because I was over that roux for like an hour and a half.
If you don't have scars, you didn't make a roux.
No, you did not make a proper roux. It has to look like dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Lots of meat, no beef.
What?
No beef. I mean, and we like ours veggie heavy. Mm-hmm. Like, we put a lot of Trinity in there.
Have you ever made I don't know how to pronounce it, people probably cringe. It's the green gumbo zab, or gumbo zerbs. Yeah, I've heard New Orleans person call it zabs, but
I've made it once, and it's delicious.
Yes, I've made it. I actually entered it into a little, probably about 9 years ago, a little competition for unique gumbo. For unique gumbos, and got a lot of good feedback on it. My wife loves it. She was vegetarian when we first met, but it is one of my all-time favorites. It's delicious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's definitely a variation to try.
I can't remember the history behind it, but there's a certain day, I think it's for during Lent, honestly, and so you're not supposed to eat meat.
Didn't Leah Chase come up?
Maybe so. Okay. It's fantastic.
And I think she might have done it for a Good Friday or something like that. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that, we'll talk about different variations of dishes and stuff, and then kind of do our version of a drunk history with it.
I like that.
And every now and then we might have a guest, a friend of ours who might just bring a topic on us. So you never know. We're just full of surprises.
I'm excited for this. I really am. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I've struggled to find any podcast food related that I've really enjoyed. There was one I did. I'll have to go back and look it up, but they talked about the history of certain foods, but it was more or less like the TV dinner.
Oh yeah.
Jello, and it was like a lot of interesting facts about how those came into being, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join me here. I'm excited. If you guys do get a chance to come to her wine dinner. You will see me here. I'm excited about it. And look for the Bouillabaisse and 2 girls in 1 measuring cup coming soon. I almost messed that one up. But anyway, thanks for being here, Jamie.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
That was painful.